That's just all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months.
Let's say you lost everything today.
Wow.
Give me a realistic timeline when you could get it back.
Tomorrow.
Drama, drama. Yeah. Baby mama drama, drama.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So in this video, we are going to talk about some changes that have occurred for rapper Young Jeezy as well as for singer Tyrese. So as we know, they have both been in the media consistently. Jeezy for his tumultuous divorce that he's had, going on with Jeannie Mai, as well as her trying to make allegations saying that it's unsafe for the child to be there and that she wanted, full primary and sole custody of their child, and he could only get visitation rights. As well as, of course, everything that's been going on with Tyrese with his whole situation with child support.
I'm at $13,000 a month.
The toxic situation in regards to his daughter Shayla. And so we're going to go ahead and get into the both of them, starting with rapper Young Jeezy. So most recently, I had a conversation about a situation where basically all the clause came out against Young Jeezy while Jeannie and Jeezy were going through divorce, in which most recently she went to the house to go get her things and the police were called.
Want to make check on the furniture that you came with. Is that correct?
I want to do my walkthrough. That's the court order. Let me do my walkthrough, and what I'm personally checking for is my belongings. I've moved my whole life from Los Angeles to here. I also had a baby here. I lived in this house. I decorated this whole house. So yes, I absolutely want to make sure that my things are taken with me as
in addition to what's packed up.
I want to make sure. I can't say for addition. You might be right. He might have packed everything for me, but I deserve a walkthrough because of court order. So that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to, I might walk out empty-handed. I just want to make sure that my house that I know is coming with me.
Okay.
And so it's leaving with just his house being his.
Okay.
So in this footage that was released, the body cam footage that was released, basically they had a court order that she would be able to walk through and get all of her things from his house. He was not there. He had his house manager there, and the house manager kept telling her, he's not here. All of your stuff has been packed away in the garage, and she was like, no, I'm gonna walk all up and through this place, in which Jeezy had all right to not want her to walk through the house because, she was using his own personal home recordings against him in the divorce proceedings to prove that he was unfit to parent his own child. Here we can see that it says Jeannie Mai has detailed incidents of alleged abuse from Jeezy amid their divorce. Mai's domestic violence claims were included in the last filing in the estranged couple's divorce case, which was submitted in Georgia's Fulton County Superior Court Thursday and reviewed by USA Today. The former The Real daytime TV host filing is in response to the sole survivor rapper's request earlier this month for the court to void the temporary agreement the couple had in place amid their divorce proceedings, which temporarily resolves issues such as parenting plan for their 2-year-old daughter, Monaco. In the document, Mai details her concerns for Monaco's safety. Should Jeezy be allowed to spend time with their child without the temporary order? So as we can see, she literally went there and was like, he can't be around this child. All of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, she went from, talking about her divorce and while she was in the marriage, talking about, she was the one that basically had anger issues.
I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
And had to, tame, the dragon, or, put the dragon at rest because she had, problems and she didn't realize it because she had nobody to challenge her.
And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, who? That's not flying here. I was triggering him. Press that button and boom, the dragon comes out.
So all of a sudden, she's this victim and she's afraid for her safety and her child's safety. And, now he's unfit to be able to have access to his own child if there's not somebody else there present. It says, according to the filing, both parties signed a mediated agreement in February, which in part requested that Jeezy provide an inventory of all the firearms in his home and ensure they are secured before he has parenting time with their daughter. Mai claims he has refused to do so and made the case that their child is not safe with her father due to past instances of alleged abuse against Mai. In a statement posted on Instagram on Thursday, Jeezy wrote, "The allegations are not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I loved." So this hit him like a ton of bricks, right? He was like, hold on a second. We was all good, fine, and dandy, but now that I am coming towards you and challenging you because you're not just going to X-name me out of my child's life just because I no longer want a relationship with you, now you pulling out all the stops. Now you the victim. Now you getting the court involved talking about my child is not safe with me. Like, I really believe that she, was going tit for tat for him. She claims that she was blindsided by the divorce. I don't believe that. So now she was trying to blindside him with this basically vindictive nature that we all know that baby mamas have. Okay, when they can't be with the man no more and the relationship is not what they wanted it to be, they always turn to these vindictive traits where I'm going to get you where it hurt.
Why the kids them have to suffer for the choices where you make? You never want them to them father, but who it affect?
Jeezy also said, "This malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family is ridiculous. It's disheartening to witness the manipulation and deceit at play, and at this time, my main concern is being an active father to our daughter. As I continue to fight for court-mandated joint custody," he added. "Rest assured, the truth will prevail through the proper legal channels." It also says in her 117-page filing, which is a lot of pages, okay, Mai asked the court to uphold the mediated agreement between both parties signed in February and required Jeezy to address the issue of firearm inventory and storage. Due to Jeezy's past outbursts of physical violence and verbal abuse against Mai and his eldest son, Mai has valid concerns as to Jeezy's ability to appropriately parent a small child. Well, he don't have to worry about that no more, because you know what happened recently? Recently, Jeezy was just awarded joint custody of his daughter, regardless of all the things that she was trying to do. Okay, regardless of her trying to tarnish his character, regardless of her trying to, make this claim as if, he's a horrible dad and he's, she's unsafe and she's in an unsafe environment with this man. And, she can't fathom that he could be over there with that child without, somebody supervising visits. That definitely is not what happened. Okay, the court said he seems like he's just fine. We don't see anything that would deem this child to be unsafe. And so now you guys are both able to parent this child equally.
Let's say you lost everything today.
Right.
Give me a realistic timeline when you could get it back.
Tomorrow.
Now, this goes back to the recent lyric video that I just reacted to called Baby Mama Drama, a song by Chapter 9. And it talked about all these things, right? Where women will take their toxic traits and they will use, any kind of manipulation tactic to draw a sever between parent and child, father specifically and child, because they're not getting their way, because the relationship is over, because they still want the man.
Pick up every baby mother we do the right thing. No keep a father from them kids them fi try spite him. No use manipulation tactics fi try poison. You have a good baby father, you fi highlight him because.
And, a lot of these women are jealous of the fact that their children have a bloodline connection to this man who was a stranger to them when they first met. And so those children still have direct access to that man, and they're mad that they are on the outskirts and they no longer have the access to that person.
If I know it really over, you was begging at me feet. But me tired of the cycle, me never want it to repeat. Drama. Baby mama drama.
Now, for Tyrese Gibson's story, it's kind of crazy, right? And what's so funny is that what happened in Tyrese's real life is something that I talk about on a consistent basis, okay? Now, we already know Tyrese was on the internet begging to see his child that he was paying thousands of dollars of child support for. Okay, that whole viral video of him talking about my Shayla and crying and pointing to his shirt that, went viral all over social media.
Don't take my baby, please. Don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. Oh, this is all I got. This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just want my baby. And no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything illegal. Baby, I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? My Shayla. My Shayla. Congratulations. Oh.
You know, as much as people thought it was so funny and hilarious and comical that they tried to call him names, say he's crazy, all this kind of stuff, that was a father, right? A father who wanted to be present in his child's life, a father who wanted to be there for his child, a father that wanted to continue to build and maintain that relationship, who no longer had the ability to do so, again, because of a vindictive baby mother. Now, what I always say is that these kids end up growing up and they end up, these women, all those seeds that they've sown of toxicity, of, planting all this negative information and these manipulation tactics against the father from the kid's side, it always ends up backfiring. And what happened is his daughter turned 18 and decided she want to go live with her daddy. Here we can see it says Tyrese Gibson's daughter, the one who his ex-wife took away and demanded an exorbitant amount of child support for. She's now 18, and guess what? She has chosen her father. She made it clear she no longer wants any involvement with her mother. According to her, her mother tried to turn her against her dad, but as she grew closer to him, she realized he's an amazing man. Child support has officially ended, and this young woman has decided to stand by her father. And I say this again, it's horrible when a lot of these children grow up to realize that they were only a check. Okay, it was nothing to do of, the betterment of the child or, taking your emotions out of it and putting the child before your own emotions and your own feelings just because the relationship ended. It does not mean that you now need to taint the child's relationship with their father. No. Okay, these children grow up and hopefully, because Jeezy's just in the beginning of the battle. Okay, regardless of anything, he's at the very beginning because there is going to be work at play throughout the years where Jeezy is going to try to be the exemplary parent or the number one parent and still try to cause us create a space between Jeezy and his child. Now, I would hope that wouldn't be true, but that's reality. Okay, that's something that we have seen on a constant basis. The fact that his child, has grown up to realize the reality of what the situation truly is so disheartening because now that child is going to try to make up for lost times, right? Now that child is trying to fight through and decipher, how do I navigate this now relationship with my father after my mom created this space between us for so long? Okay, it's a horrible thing. And again, I have to bring it up. Just like what I was talking about, the Dr. Umar situation, everybody wants to coddle these mothers just because they were there. But it does not mean anything because the fathers were also willing. Okay? If we see this man on the internet boo-hoo crying.
This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months.
Begging to see his child, and women would rather make fun of him than to support him and say, wow, that's a dad who wants to be active. They didn't do that. But let a mother get on the internet who has exiled the child away from their father, who has manipulated the child, who has, created all of this space of toxicity around the relationship with father and daughter or father and son. And women are going to be like, well, I'm with her because, it must be a reason why. It's crazy. I said it before and I have to say it again. A lot of these men who are walking around with these deadbeat dad titles, if we only heard his side of the story, boy, would we be surprised. Okay? And a lot of these men not talking, they are protecting these vindictive and these toxic women. I'm just happy to see that for these two men, that it has gone in a positive direction. Yes, Tyrese has, done the most when it comes to paying thousands and thousands of dollars And there's a lot of undoing, but at least he has the opportunity now to mend and build that relationship. And shout out to Jeezy as well, because he at least gets to be an active participant in raising that child. Okay? Regardless of whatever situation that they had going on, he is now able, and the court saw it fit, that he can and will be able to have joint custody of his daughter. Shout out to them. Okay? And the fact that these are two young women is not a coincidence. Women who grow up with a lack of a relationship without their father meet a lot of difficulties, out there in the dating world. So shout out to them. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And I did not forget, I'm going to be hosting a live stream on my channel in which, fathers who have never gotten the platform to be able to speak and tell their side of the story get to do that, through a live stream. Again, all you have to do is play the song that I featured in this video. It's
Drama, yeah. Baby mama drama.
It's going to be linked in the description of this video. Make sure that you take a video of yourself, playing the song, post it onto social media and tag me. And I'm going to pick a couple of people, and we are going to be doing a live stream, basically, shedding light on what fathers go through with these, baby mamas and the baby mama drama. Again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.